Guys, it's Stephanie. Are you ready for Pincha Mayurasana forearm stand? As requested, here's a little tutorial that I hope will help you get into this pose. It's actually one of my favorite poses. Definitely my favorite inversion. To me, it's safer than headstand or shoulder stand and easier than handstand. So I hope that with practice and time, you'll come to enjoy it too. I find that there are two basic obstacles that keep people from getting up into forearm stand. One is strength and one is flexibility. If strength is an issue, you can work on that in dolphin pose, and we'll do that in a minute. If flexibility is an issue, let me give you a couple of stretches that you can use to help open up your shoulders in preparation. Before you do this or any other work in Pincha Mayurasana, I do recommend you do a nice warm-up, some sun salutations. Spend some time in downward dog, get the shoulders warmed up, loosened up a little bit. And then to open up the shoulders a little bit more, take a block, put it on the floor, and you're going to lay on the block with the base of the shoulder blades lining up about with the base of the block, all right? Should feel okay. If it feels terrible, block's probably in the wrong place. Adjust it around a little bit, but you can see it's right around the base of my shoulder blades. All right, then I'm bring my arms straight up and draw them back. All right, draw your arms back so they're really resting in the shoulder sockets. And then reach the arms overhead. If they'll reach the floor, great. Reach your head or let your head rest on the floor and stay here for, I don't know, maybe a minute or two to help your shoulders open up. Another good shoulder stretch that can help you prep for Pincha Mayurasana is coming onto your forearms and knees, and then coming onto your elbows and clasping your hands. All right, walk your elbows forward a little bit. Once again, draw your shoulders back. So see, I could kind of let my whole shoulders hunch up and collapse into my back. This is not what we're talking about. I want you to draw the shoulders down, hug your ribs in a little bit, and then ease your hips back and bring your head toward the floor, your heart towards the floor. If your shoulders are kind of tight, might feel nicer to have a block to put your forehead on. Again, shoulders drawing down away from your ears. You can just let your forehead rest for a while. Maybe spend a minute or two in that position, letting your shoulders open up. Okay, if strength is an issue, dolphin pose is one you're going to want to get to know and love, or at least get to know. The mechanics of dolphin and forearm stand are a lot the same, at least in the upper body. So let's see what's going on in this position. So we're going to come onto the forearms. There are different ways to do both dolphin and forearm stand, either with the forearms parallel or the hands clasped. I have found that it's probably a better sort of entry-level position to do it with the hands clasped. It takes a little bit less shoulder flexibility. To me, it feels a little more stable. Not everybody agrees with that. Some people like it with the forearms parallel. It feels a little more grounded. But I encourage you to try hands clasped while you're getting the hang of this. All right, important to keep the upper arm bone vertical. I see a lot of people trying to get into it with their shoulders forward and they're collapsing into their shoulders. Press your forearms down strongly and keep the shoulders right over your elbows. So important. Much more stable position. All right. The other issue that people have once they come onto their forearms is that the elbows start to flare out to the side. We get this kind of situation going on. If that's the case, grab a strap and make a loop that's about shoulder width apart so that you can put it right above your elbows and keep your arms just about shoulder width apart. All right? So clasp your hands, belt or no belt, and lift your hips. Walk your feet in as much as you can. Now maybe, if you're a little tighter, it may look more like this, that's fine. But just over time, start to walk your feet in closer and closer, and your hips get higher and higher, and you're closer to being actually in forearm stand. So again, avoid the temptation to let your shoulders rock forward. Oh boy, a lot more load. It's actually a lot easier if you have the flexibility to have your shoulders right over your elbows. Press down and hug in. Press down and hug in, that's your mantra. Keep looking at the space between your forearms. Keep your head up and lift one leg. If you can, all right? If that's doable for you. So you may just spend a little time building some strength in dolphin pose and lifting one leg at a time. Eventually, you'll be able to lift one leg and take a little hop. little hop, and whoop, and one day you're hopping up to the wall. Of course, you want to practice this against the wall so it's there for you, right? Once you're ready to, once you're getting up and you're feeling reasonably comfortable with that, if you want to start thinking about getting away from the wall, just ease back a little bit away from the wall, a little further away. Come into your dolphin. Hug in and press down. Lift one leg. Take a little tiny hop and bend the other leg. Keep the other knee kind of hugging in towards your chest until you're stable, and then straighten. All right? That's a little trick. Keep one knee bent until you get into a pretty stable position, and then straighten up. All right? So, that's tiring. But it is fun, and I hope you'll work with it. And just determine, do you need to work more on flexibility or more on strength? And just target your practice toward that, and you'll start seeing more progress toward this pose, and eventually you'll be flying that peacock proudly in your practice. Hope to see you doing that soon on the mat. Namaste.